Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Daniel Rodgers. I'm the founder of a company called Qikserve. Just got to tell you a little bit about our product, and we've got it out there as well, so you can have a play about with it later on as well. Just get used to the technology. So I thought I would start with a touristy type event, a kind of mass one. Since we're going to be invaded by one this year with the Commonwealth Games, I thought I'd start with one similar. And what you can see here is the pilgrims waiting for the announcement of the new Pope in 2005. Now, just behind, on the very bottom corner, you can see one lonely camera phone down there. Let's fast forward, just to give you an idea of scale, to 2011 when the same thing happened. Now, if you're in any doubt about the power of this thing, you shouldn't be anymore. And in actual fact, there's more power in this than I have probably in this laptop beside me. So what does that mean? Well, it means that this is now a gateway to self-service. So where I might have used a kiosk or some other kind of web interface, I've actually got it in my pocket now. I don't need to go anywhere else. And self-service has been endemic now in a lot of industries. I mean, who would have thought 5 years ago I would be walking past manned empty checkouts in Asda to scan my own groceries out? Yeah? I mean, it's really moving at such a fast pace. So where did I come from? Well, I do like my smartphones. Well, and that was kind of where I was. I was getting hugely frustrated with hospitality, and in particular, bars and restaurants. And it was actually in a tourism situation that the idea came to me. I was down in London. I was on my own with my two kids, who were absolutely hyper by this time. We'd taken them to fountains and God knows all what. And we were sat trying to get a table and a Wetherspoons. And it took us ages to find one. Eventually did. Coats off, kids sat down, and then I thought, how the hell am I going to do this? I now have to get to the bar and place my order. Do I leave the kids? Do I take the kids up? Do I leave my stuff? I was beside myself at that point. Anyway, I decided that I'd let the other people around about me deal with my hyper kids who were now eating sugar off the table. And I thought, okay, so I'll go away. I went away and got the food order and spent the rest of the time thinking, well, must be an app for this, surely. Looked for one. I couldn't find one. And then I started speaking to some other people, and they all experienced similar problems. So that was it. I was like, well, how can I get this business off the ground? And in 2011, partnered with a few people, and we got the idea up and running. So what is it? Well, it's a mobile retail platform. I used to say it was ordering food and drinks from your mobile, but actually it's expanded to a lot more than that, and I'm going to talk a bit more about how we've moved on even from that. But basically, it's a retail platform for hospitality. I can check into a table, I can check into a room, I can check into a seat, and I can order stuff, and I can pay directly on my phone. And like I said, we've got it out there, so you can have a shot later on. Where are we? Well, in the last year, we've grown quite significantly. We've taken on some really, really big customers. And you can use it in the Fringe, in Edinburgh Airport. We've actually got another airport which uses Qikserve at Southampton. You can use it in bars and restaurants. We've got the City Cafe in Edinburgh. We've got a bar chain in London. The lovely Brunsfield Hotel, you can order your room service by checking into your room with your mobile phone. We took 30% of their room service revenue last year. And you've got to think beyond just providing that service. We've now got access to those consumer devices. So we've made a direct connection with those consumer devices that never happened before. Yeah? Yes, we've given them something funky to use. We've overcome a barrier for them to get service into their room. But actually, the more valuable thing is we've got a connection to that consumer's device. And with the Commonwealth Games, we think there's exciting opportunities. We already have 3 stadiums in the UK where you can order and pay for refreshments from your seat. And in actual fact, at Portsmouth, you can buy a football shirt. And one of the interesting things there is the size of spend has been astonishing. We've seen people order hundreds of pounds worth of shirts from their seat using their mobile phone. What's in it for the operator? Well, first of all, there's massive pressure on operators. Costs are going up, nobody can deny that. And you've got to maintain a level of service. So one of the things that we've found with Qikserve is when you give consumers access to self-service through their device, they spend more. And we've seen spend increase up to 70% from Qikserve. But also, and as I touched on earlier, the most important thing for us is being able to make that connection with the consumer. The best way to do that is to solve problems through the device. And I think I'm going to come in under time. So thank you very much. Technology.
Right. Hi, I'm doing it off an iPad, so right. Yeah, I'm Jonathan, and my company is Luma 3DI, 3D Interactive, and we're based in Edinburgh. We were formed as a group. We came together from a varied background, predominantly architecture and computer games industry. And we formed Luma to allow us to use our skills to take advantage of emerging technologies and apply them in new areas such as virtual tourism and heritage and education. 3D content, that's what we're interested in developing. 3D content is now routinely used in many industries as part of their everyday workflow. Architects use it, engineers, archaeologists and surveyors. Techniques and tools for generating 3D content such as laser scanning and photogrammetry are very efficient and cost effective and very accurate. One area of development which is particularly relevant for public engagement in tourism is, as we've heard, is mobile applications. People travel with smartphones. Everyone's familiar with downloading and using apps. Modern smartphones and tablets can display and animate very complex 3D imagery, and a lot of that development has been driven by the games industry. This means that users can navigate through the actual physical spaces for information rather than wading through menus and icons. So the barriers have broken down between the user and the information. And when you combine this ability with other input methods like the geolocation and Wi-Fi and touch and gyroscope, you can create really intuitive and engaging experiences. I was going to, the plan is to show you an app that we're developing just now with, for Edinburgh University. It's a space that you're probably familiar with. This is an app that's going to be publicly available in the summer, hopefully, fingers crossed. And it's using some of the features of the iPad. This is going to be an iPad app, but a lot of it transfers into other platforms as well. So it's using the gyroscope to look around. You get a lot of. I'm not mic'd up, and I was going to walk along there later. But you can look around. You can jump between. We've generated a really high level model, high quality model with visually accurate textures, and you can jump between locations. And this will work on an iPhone or an iPad or Android devices. We're tailoring this specifically for iPad initially, but it will work on an iPad 2 up, so it doesn't have to be super duper high res, high spec hardware. So this is early beta, really just to start to test the navigation and make it as user friendly as possible and intuitive as possible. And we're at the stage where we're starting to layer up content and have a dialogue with the archaeologists about the history of the space. So we've started to implement a timeline on the base, and the graphics will change and everything's going to move around, but this is really just to test the content and to start to develop the content for it. So I can take you back to 1300, and you can, a lot of the content is still being, all of the content is still being developed, but really the concept is you'll have a timeline and you'll be able to manually stop at any period in time and fly down into the space, and a lot of the spaces will be recreated from etchings and any historical information we can get our hands on. And it's a really rich area for that particular site, as you probably know, is a very historic site. It's the site of Darnley's murder, and it's also where Burke and Hare brought the bodies through a tunnel, which still exists. Apparently I haven't seen it, but it still exists somewhere up there. So that's going to build into quite a rich learning experience and quite an intuitive interface for people to explore any time period they're interested in. Another part is we can jump down into the quad. You can combine 3D data with photographic, traditional panoramic photographs. So you'll be able to jump into, this is the Playfair Library. You can look around in the Playfair Library, and you'll be able to tap on objects and bring up text, video, information overlaid about the key figures in the development of the space. One other thing, and I'm not mic'd up, but I'm going to walk along there because we've got an augmented. One other thing that's all great for remote engagement with the public, where they can use it before they visit a space, they can use it after they visit a space to research it. But you can also engage with them when they're actually at the location. Augmented reality is a really nice way of doing that, where they can engage with signboards or existing artwork or specially prepared artwork that just adds an extra augmented layer on top of what they would otherwise experience. So I'll show you some of the things that we're developing just now, and that'll be me, but I'm going to go off mic. So that's augmented reality, and obviously the content is static. You could have animated elements within it. You could have avatars talking you through, taking you on a tour, flying into the space and taking you on a tour. This is the first step in the development of that software. So that's it. I've come to our stand. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Brendan and I work for The List. For those of you who don't know The List is one of the UK's largest events and entertainment websites. I'm here today to talk to you about something called the Events Widget. I'm going to talk to you about exactly what it looks like, I'm going to talk to you about what it actually does, but most importantly I'm going to talk about what it can do for your business. So, the first question any rational human being will have is, what the hell is an Events Widget? Well, let's break it down. An event is a thing that happens. With me so far? A widget is a small gadget or mechanical device, especially one whose name is unknown or unspecified. Go on to Google Images. Apparently this is what a widget looks like. Actually, ours looks a little bit like this. It's not very clear, but this is an events widget pulling in events within 20 miles of the location of East Canvas Moon. Now, East Canvas Moon is a accommodation provider, sub-catering apartment out towards Glasgow. Here's another example. This is for Craighall Cottage in Edinburgh. And they're pulling in events within 5 miles of EH88DR, which is again the postcode of their particular cottage. This is another example. This is from the Scottish Wildlife Trust. Now they're doing something slightly different. They're actually pulling events that they are putting on at the Falls of Clyde venue into their own blog. Last but not least, this is the Edinburgh Reporter, which I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with. Now again, they're pulling events basically into the content of their homepage, in this case within 1 mile of Edinburgh. So, what does it do? Well, put very simply, an events widget provides you with an easy way to put events on your website, on your blog, or on your digital property. Now the next rational question all of you will have is, why the hell should I care? Well, you should care. Because this came about through conversations with people like you. This came about through conversations, This came about through conversations with accommodation providers, with tourist attractions, with conference venue owners, and with people like ETAG themselves. You said you came to me with a common problem. You said, we love events, they're great. You said, we'd like to tell our guests and our visitors all about them. But here was the crux, we don't know how. Accommodation providers, you came to me and you said, we'd love to tell people about all the amazing things happening in Edinburgh whilst their guests are staying. It's been alluded to already by someone else. The events widget will help you do that. And think about it. Mike is deciding whether to go to Northumberland or to Edinburgh on holiday. And both are beautiful places. And both have fantastic accommodation. But actually, when Mike looked at the Edinburgh website, he saw that there were amazing things to do in Edinburgh. And that's what made his decision. That's why Mike chose to come to Edinburgh instead of Northumberland. Conference providers, or conference venue providers, you said that you wanted to find a way of actually explaining to people what an amazing city Edinburgh is to have your conference in. Well, again, the events widget will do that. Tourist attractions, you had a slightly different problem. You said, we put on loads of really great events, and we'd love to be able to spread that word much further to tell more people about them. Well, again, the events widget will do that. And ETAG themselves came to us and they said that actually, we don't think that Edinburgh is making enough of all the incredible things that happen here. And we agree with that. Now again, hopefully this will solve that problem. Now what? I'm sure a lot of you probably still don't care about this, but you know what? You should care. Let me give you a reason to care. In fact, let me give you 7.7 billion reasons to care. The UK arts industry is worth £7.7 billion to the UK economy. That is a lot of money. Now, if you're not part of this, then you are missing out. You see, the thing is, Edinburgh has world-class events on all of the time. Yes, we know about the festival. Yes, we know about Hogmanay. But actually, Edinburgh has world-class museums. It has world-class music. It has world-class visual art. And that is happening every single day within Edinburgh. What's that? It sounds like it's expensive. Well, guess what? It's completely free. Oh, but it sounds like it's a lot of work. Well, actually, it's not a lot of work at all. It's really easy. In fact, it should really only take you about 5 minutes to get this set up. Don't believe me? Well, I'm actually going to do a little live demo for you right now. So I'm going to need that thing that everyone dreads, audience participation. So apologies if I pick on you. Right, gentlemen in the picture, you somehow stand out for some reason. Could I have a choice of music, plays out, or theatre?
I was going to say, let Bruce Springsteen for instance, he's not played Edinburgh for a while.
Just a genre at this point in time. Music, plays out, or theatre?
Yeah, musicals.
Music. Right, let's go for music. Okay. I need a postcode. Gentleman there with glasses, can I take the postcode of your business?
KY 16.
Right, let's go for an Edinburgh one actually, because we're in Edinburgh, so make it sound easier. You do KY just as easy, but this is ETAG. Could I have someone shout the postcode of the business in Edinburgh? In fact, Linda, what's the postcode of?
EH6 6JJ.
EH6. What was the
6JJ.
6JJ. Okay. Going to select some, and it keeps on doing this. There we go. Let's put in the next 4 weeks, and we'll do a search on that. That's bringing up all the events within the next 4 weeks, within 5 miles of EH6. We'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of the site. You'll click on this link saying embed these events, and there you go, that is the code. Copy that, and we'll go back to this, and here, in inimitable Blue Peter style, is a blog that I set up earlier. This is just on Tumblr. Widely available, nice little piece of technology that anyone can use. Go into the dashboard. We'll give it a title, which will be ETAG. Make sure it's in HTML. And let's preview that from the blog. And there we go. We have events within the next 4 weeks, music within 5 miles of the postcode Britannia. It is really that easy to do. So, to remind you again, Edinburgh has world-class events on all of the time. And letting people know about them makes your business a more attractive proposition. And as you've seen, it is really quick and easy to do. So at the risk of sounding like a Nike commercial, just go and do it. Come and have a chat to me at the stand or get in touch with us direct. We'd love to be able to talk to you, and we'd love to tell you how events can help improve your business. Thank you.
Hello, and thanks for having me. My name's Alex Stewart. I'm the director of Bytemark Limited. Bytemark are a mobile ticketing and payment solutions provider based in New York, in Scotland, and in Adelaide in Australia. So, Scotland's a brilliant tourism industry. It's a resilient tourism industry. How do we make Scotland a first choice destination for tourists? Well, obviously we know that in 2014 we have a number of very big events going on. Commonwealth Games, Homecoming, Ryder Cup. They're all happening here on our doorstep. We need to embrace the technology that's available that you've seen today, and you'll hear about more today, to entice visitors back after this year. This is, following on from the great stuff that's happening this year. How do we do that as well? Scotland's visitors, they're already using apps and technology to go commuting. They're doing their shopping. Here we have an example of somebody doing his shopping while he's on his commute in the underground, and also in leisure. So what do Bytemark bring, and Bytemark bring to this to help that happen? Well, we've got a unique ticket, a visually verifiable virtual ticket, it's called. It's a very secure ticket. We have a number of secure items on it. It shows you the route details if you're a transport operator. An editable watermark, so if you're an operator you can change the watermark at any point. Animated image, so that image will be moving left, right, up and down, sideways. Obviously shows you the ticket type that's been bought. There's a touch screen verification, which you touch the screen and the screen changes colour. Multi-mode ticket type, so obviously you've got 2D and you've got NFC. The ticket can swap between them. And lastly, you've got a date and time stamped. This all kind of goes together to helping the operator, well, gives the operator a ticket which they don't actually need any hardware or anything to let people in and out of the event. I'll show you a little film here with New York Waterways, the ticket in operation.
Because it's really easy. It gives you the opportunity to replenish, gives you the opportunity to manage.
I take the ferry almost every day, and with the app it was just a lot more convenient and easier for me. I can choose the ferry that I want to take. I just use my phone, I've already got it, and it's very easy for regular commuters.
I normally commute downtown to Wall Street. I connect on the East River Ferry. I just activate the amount of tickets that I want to use. It's as easy as just click and activate and just board the boat.
I go from Dumbo up to 34th Street and then back, and I sometimes bring my bike. I loved having the app where I could just punch it in where I'm going, and it's that easy.
The best thing about it is it's so simple. You can buy a ticket on the way to the ferry. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Well, I just feel much better about myself because I'm always running late, and if I don't have cash, I can just easily show the app, and it's so easy.
My favorite feature on the app is, I don't know where to begin, the bus locator for the buses. to be able to tell when's the next boat coming in, and the schedules are pretty good.
I use the schedule from the app to find out what time the next ferry is, just in the palm of my hand, so it's very convenient.
I've been using it quite frequently ever since Sandy.
After the storm, actually, because all the machines were broken. I mean, it's just a lot easier. It's just super easy because I'm always connected on my phone. Even though I'm very old school, I love tickets, I love paper, I love old books, but this is like a big step for me, and I'm really liking it.
I hope you enjoyed that. New York Waterways were the first guys came to us with a problem that they had with ticketing. They wanted to open up their ticketing so it allowed lots of people fast access on and off of their ferries. And we came up with that ticket for them. But the ticket's not just for use in transport. The ticket can be used anywhere. And I've got an example later on in this that we can actually drop the ticketing and the payment app solutions into other app solutions that are already there. And in conjunction with some of the guys here, obviously, we can offer a really quite an exciting piece of kit for anybody that was looking to use it. What is the art of the possible? You buy a ticket to go to a venue, for instance. Well, that ticket can be a through and through ticket. The ticket on your phone, you can get the ferry on that with that ticket. You can then get a bus using the same ticket, then a taxi, and then you can actually log in and go into your hotel with that, and then obviously go to your venue. Now, you could pre-journey or pre-book all of these things, and pre-event, back to what one of the previous speakers was saying, it's available 24/7. You can choose your seat at the event, using augmented reality seating plan, check travel options using RTI, buy event ticket on a mobile device, obviously. And then you can travel to the event and use geotagging for local information during your journey. So you've heard, the guys are here, the possibilities are all here, we just need to put them all together. During the event, well, you can gain entry using your V3 ticket, obviously. You can buy mobile-enabled programming. It's on a program with feature-rich content, so you could have the manager of the team talking about the team, or the lead singer of the band talking about what they're up to. Purchase merchandise, have it delivered to your home. Order refreshments, pick up from Fast Queue using a QR or 2D scan payment. And you can post that experience on social networks as well. So, are we using it here just now? Yes, we're working with a number of businesses, one of which is MyConnects. MyConnects are interesting. They work with local authorities, business improvement districts, to help connect local businesses with local consumers as well. Now, they're building a tech platform at the moment which allows businesses to communicate promotions and events, and are currently integrating our V3 ticket. This will allow businesses to sell tickets and deals with the advantage that the businesses won't need any additional hardware in order to use these tickets. It's all on the user's device or the consumer's device. The functionality can be used by businesses of all sizes, obviously. It kind of knocks down all of those expensive bits. It's far cheaper to use this. MyConnects are in the process of launching their new My Scotland platform, and that's due out in March, with the ticketing to be released in April. So it's very exciting times for us. We've just recently released our citywide ticketing app in Austin, Texas, and we're going out to Austin, which is quite nice, to the South by Southwest show, so we can show what we've done in the actual city. So it's great, it's good fun. So what's the future? The future's in our hands. Visitors Scotland obviously will be expecting fast, simple, connected ways to travel and transact using their mobile devices. We live in smart cities, and your visitors will be smart users as well. So really, thank you very much. I'm out in the stand over there. I'll show you a ticket being used, no problem at all. So thank you very much.